Hi everyone, just wanted to give an update. Super late. I work today. As I told you before, I'm an ER nurse, but I wanted to give you a little tidbit of my life. And that's super random, but once you hear the story, you'll realize it's not random. So I'm going to talk about snakes, specifically rattlesnakes, but also just like venomous snakes in general. It is the season for snakes to come out. Especially I'm located in Texas, so super huge. So we're going to talk about October 5th, 2017. My then 2-year-old is now 5. It'll be 3 years October 5th, so just a few more months and it'll be 3 years. So I got off work, I went and picked my kid up, came home, was around 8 o'clock, had Sonic in my hand, we were staying next to each other at the door, and then all of a sudden, when I opened the door all the way, I hear like a rattle. So I was like, oh my gosh, there's a rattlesnake on this porch. So I didn't see it anywhere. I was looking, it's very well lit, and I was like, oh, I don't know where it's at. So I pushed her out of the way, away from the front porch, and I'm like, okay, I don't know where this is at. So we go back to the car, because I was like, we need to regroup. I need to look and find this before something happens. When I put her in the car, she started crying, and so I looked, and she had sandals on at the time, and she had been bitten. It was on her right foot, and I was like, oh no. I just come from work. I told you I work in the ER. I've been a nurse there for 9 years. I'm a charge nurse. So I was like, okay. I live out in the country, so I was like debating, do I call an ambulance way out here or do I just drive her? So I contemplated for quite a while, and then finally I was like, all right, I'm just gonna drive her. So I put her in the car seat. I'm not gonna reveal how fast I was going, but I was going pretty fast. It usually takes me that 35 minutes, 30, maybe a little bit longer to get to work. It took me 15, 20-ish, got there pretty fast. I was just really worried because she would cry and then she would be silent. She'd cry and then be silent. In the meantime, obviously I'm a nurse, so I'm thinking the worst. I've seen rattlesnake bites. I'm thinking the absolute worst. So I'm trying to get a hold of my husband. He's at work. My mom's at work. I'm trying to get a hold of all the people. No one's answering their phone. My dad, who had just picked my daughter up from, is not answering. He's like in bed. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I'm freaking out that no one's gonna be there. Like, all these bad things are gonna happen to my kid. I've seen rattlesnake bites. They're so bad. Like, oh. So get to the hospital. Oh, in the meantime, I had called my work ahead of time because I know all the people that work there, and just to let them know, give them a heads up. So as soon as I get there, they're like, all right, go to our trauma room. We go. When I get there, the nurse is like, looking at her, looking at the snake bite, and she's like, oh, she got bit twice. And I was like, what? So she had got bit on the top of her right foot, and then her left big toe. So we went there, we got the anti-venom, and then she got shipped to Cook's, which is in Dallas, which is about 2.5 hours away from us. We spent 5 days there. She got 18 vials of anti-venom. 18. If I know that most people don't know this, that is a lot, especially for a 2-year-old child. So I was pretty worried about her for a while. Good news is, absolutely fine. She is now 5, fixing to turn 6 September 27th. She has absolutely no scar, and she probably knows so much about snakes, it's not even funny. So yeah. Also, another thing, my husband came home before he went down to the hospital to get clothes and stuff for us, and the snake was stuck in our screen door. So the snake was hiding like under the weather strip, so I couldn't see it. It didn't rattle till after it bit Brenly, my oldest, and then I slammed the door. Remember I told you I slammed the door and I pushed her back and we went to the car, back to the car. I guess it got stuck in the door because I had slammed its head in the door. So when my husband got there, it was in the door, stuck. So he killed it. It was about a 3 or 4 footer. Not a baby, thank God. So yeah. Moral of the story is be super aware of your surroundings. If you do get bit, go to the hospital right away. If it's a venomous snake, obviously you need anti-venom. So yeah, it's pretty crazy, but 2 things. I was very blessed that day. I almost start crying every time I talk about it because I was pregnant with my second kid at the time, who's just turned 3, and I was like super new pregnant. I was only like 12 weeks, maybe 13. I hadn't told anybody. And if I would have been bit myself, remember I told you we were standing right next to each other, that could have been detrimental to the baby. My youngest is Oakley. Like I said, she just turned 3. She's absolutely fine. Obviously I didn't get bit. As a mom, you always have that guilt factor. Like sometimes I'm like, oh, I wish it was me and not her. But then I was like, oh, I might not have my youngest if I did get bit, you know, because she might not have made it through. So it's a lot. I'm so blessed on what happened and how everything turned out. I had wonderful doctors and nurses, and people taking care of her. So yeah, and then aftercare, her pediatrician, when she came back home, I don't know if you know, but rattlesnake bites, you have to get follow-up blood work to make sure your blood work is staying good and you're clotting well. So number 2 is, since you know I do work in the ER as a charge nurse, I know so much about rattlesnakes and bites in general, like so much that I can help my patients even more. So that's super rewarding, to be able to have such knowledge on it. And I continue to keep up with that because I'm so passionate about it, because I don't want someone else's little boy or girl to come in and then like us not know exactly what to do and get on it quickly. So yeah, anyway, that's my story. If you're interested, I can post pictures of when she got bit and like of her wounds and all that in the comments below. Just let me know. Comment. Let me know if you're interested in seeing it. It was pretty, just FYI, it's pretty brutal. The pictures are, and it's crazy that she has no scar from it. Like super crazy when you see how bad it is. You're like, she should have something, and she does not. Not at all. It's crazy. So anyway, thanks for listening.